All right, what's going on out the world? And you are once again in the Watch for the Hook YouTube channel. So, man, I ain't been on no rock. I know y'all haven't either. The murder, and I'm gonna call it a murder. Not saying he was shot and killed. It was a murder. The murder of Takeoff just is another constant reminder of the just he. You can't seem to grasp, you know, and how many ways can a black man and even a young black man can die in this world? And it's like for us, we don't make up a large shit. Thought something tried to get me. I got that motherfucker. We don't make a large population of the United States. But the death of black men across, by the hands of other black men or by the hands of anybody else, it has been a high statistical number. And I know some folks be like, man, y'all always bringing up these celebrity deaths. What about everybody else? All right, let's roll with this for a second. Just alone in my city, Little Rock, we got over 75 homicides this year. Still got 2 months to go, unfortunately. And we're up at that number where we've gone back to the 1993 time when it was gang banging in Little Rock. But really ain't no gangs. I mean, like these men. I mean, since I made Young Dolph's video, which was 11 months ago, when I was talking about a pawn killed the king, here we go again. Those who not know history don't repeat it. We now have a pawn. Somebody killed Takeoff. But it was somebody that was not Takeoff's stature. That's why you're a pawn. Because you ain't the same as the person you took out. We got another king, another black king slain, more like at the hands of another black king, because that you got shot twice. Shit, man, I'm going to let you, by accident, man, you got a better chance of getting struck by lightning twice in the same strike. Like, I'm just going to tell you, that shit ain't adding up. And the fact ain't nobody talking, it's more behind this, but it's unfortunate. But here we go again. Another RIP video. Some more RIP t-shirts. I had a classmate of mine, Kimmy Fletcher. She did her doctoral thesis on black folks asphyxiation. Not asphyxiation, that means you got suffocated. Affirmation or affiliation. Why we love to wear the RIP t-shirts. Like we are just one of the few cultures that, man, somebody died, we put them on a canvas. And then we parade that canvas around for years after they're gone. And now we're looking at another RIP t-shirt. I mean, hell, what was it, a few months ago, Snooty Wild died in Houston, the former rapper out of Memphis, who used to be with Yo Gotti now. He died in some weird shit that happened in Memphis. I don't think his case has been resolved either. PNB Rock just got murdered because he had too much jewelry on. And a father and son was trying to hit a lick, and they thought it was gang activity. You know how sad it is? We try to blame people that ain't got nothing to deal with shit for shit that happens. Because the shit has happened so many times before. I was just sitting there talking, man. And, Takeoff hits a little different because, honestly, that's just my opinion. I'm making light of it. It was like somebody killed Urkel. Takeoff was kind of like the nerdy one of the Migos. He was the quiet one. He stayed in his lane. He didn't bother nobody. He didn't ask for the spotlight. But when he got his chance, he took that shit. He did his thing, and bam. People don't even realize the Migos have been on the major rap scene for 10 years. The Migos, as you know them, is done, unfortunately. When Left Eye passed from TLC, it was never a TLC. I don't care what recordings they have of him. They're done. Unfortunately, one of the mega rap groups of all time are done. And then let's look at his age. Man, he was 28. I have never said, I don't think anybody say he was a dead father. He was somebody's son. He was Neff. But think about it. He died at 28. Pac died at 25. Biggie died at 26. It's scary, man. I mean, I'm not even. Snooty was 36 when he got murdered. Just rapper Trouble. He was in his mid-30s, got killed down in Atlanta. It was a younger rapper in Louisiana. His name was Jay the Youngin. I don't know him. My 14-year-old knew about his music. He was early 20s murdered down in Louisiana. I mean, man, listen. It gets to the point. There's only one profession with a shorter career than being a rapper for black men, and that's being an NFL running back. And they only average about 3 to 5 years. Or is it 3.5 years? Something like that. I mean, before these cats can even get made, like I said, 11 months ago, I'm talking about Dolph. And how many cats I just named in between Dolph to take off? You know, black men deserve to grow. You know, the want to hit a lick and the bandos and all that stuff. Some people gonna say, man, the way he came up, you knew not to be doing certain things. I mean, you can give 1,000,001 reasons for him to be there. You give 1,000,001 reasons not to be there. You give 1,000,001 reasons to avoid this. But this is the lanes that they choose. You know, I think about how many times we as a people go through this. And I'm not just talking about famous murders. I'm talking about just, we make up such a small percentage. Like black men is like, what, 5 to 6% of the population? And then we make up over half the men that's sent to prison. And we make up over half the murders, too. You know, I mean, it's like, we've been saying this for over 40 years. It's a full-on assault. Man, fuck that. It's been a full-on assault on black men since we entered this country. Lots of people don't even realize 98% of the lynchings that happen were black men. If lynching was just a racism thing, wouldn't that number be a little bit evenly distributed? I ain't trying to say hang the women, but I'm saying if out of every 100 hangings, they hung the men. Just think about that. And then we're not helping each other. You know, I mean, that's when I went to Cuba. One of the main things I loved about Cuba, it was no classism. They all help each other. And I'm not saying we don't help each other. We do. But I am just saying, at one point, when do we start to value each other? Like, we can have differences. That's an easy thing to resolve. But to sit there and be like, your life is worth less than whatever else I think of. Dope, women, money, slime, jewelry. I mean, just think about, speaking of jewelry, they were just on Drink Champs talking about they making the infinity links. I'm listening to them, the Takeoff talk about, you know, our minds can't grasp the space is infinite. We making these infinity links to show everybody we in this forever. Talked about getting his flowers while he was here. It's like, the fuck? Like, did somebody tell him you gone on this day? And it's just like sometimes we look at who all have lost family members to gun violence. You gotta be like, there were so many warnings. What did we miss? Why didn't I say something? I should have done this, should have done that. You know, we all can question all this stuff. But you turn around and you just keep thinking like, as David Banner said, another black man down. I mean, there are so many things against us. And that hate toward our own brothers and cousins and uncles and fathers, and man, that shit's just deep. Is quote the Scarface album. This shit deeply rooted, man. Oh, excuse me. I mean, it's deeply fucking rooted. I know you can say, why are they shooting dice in a bowling alley? Or why were they there? Why? And if you ever been to a dice game, they get aggressive as fuck. I've been to some, and I've left some. Like, fuck that shit. Like, nah, it ain't worth it. You can have that shit. But at some point, you try to say it's the music, it's the lifestyle, it's the culture. Rap used to be you telling what you came from. I was in poverty, and I'm no longer in poverty, but I want to tell you the shit I went through or the shit I lived in to get out of poverty. That's what it started from. And then it got glorified into the dope game and drug trafficking, women, and now it's gone to strip clubs and dope and house and property. And I remember Nori told Dolph on Drink Champs, stay out the hood. You ain't got no reason to be there. You're a multi-millionaire. It's certain places you don't need to go. It's certain places you just don't need to go. Like, I mean, they from Atlanta. They rolling out there to H-Town. You know, they know a few people. And they probably like, yeah, these folk know how we get down. We hanging out with so-and-so and them. They know how we get down. We cool enough. But I'm going to go back to them. Was they around the ops? Just think about it. Like, if you got 40, 50 people around you, are 40 people, 50 people thinking the same way, on the same wavelength? Fuck no, they ain't. Something pop up, somebody start talking crazy. Oh, man, I've been waiting. That mind. There you go. They wait. They been slick mad the whole time. And they was waiting to express that disdain that they had. Where we say, I wish a nigga would. I've been waiting on your motherfucking ass guideline. Motherfucker could have been around you for years. Kept their mouth closed. But the minute you said something they didn't like, the switch went off. You know why? Because they was fucking ops. They was always not for you. They only dealt with you because there were certain people in their clique or in their group that said, hey man, he cool. You let that ride. But the minute they got their chance, clack, clack. I'm going to say he was murdered. This ain't no conspiracy theory or none of that shit. To me, it's kind of hard to accidentally get shot in the head and in the chest. I mean, those are two upper torso wounds are hard for accidental shootings. Now, he got shot in the hand or the foot or the leg, hip, other shit like that, yeah. Those are too close. Those are fatal wounds, people. I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night. And the simple fact, we're now going on into the 72-hour mark. No witnesses, no confirmed statements, a bunch of tributes. We're hitting that. We don't get the closure part, which is a lot of things we get on these celebrity murders of black rappers. Tupac still unsolved. Biggie still unsolved. And it's only because these youngsters now make the mistakes of doing other dumb shit with their phones that they're getting caught. But, you know, you get to the point you just you try not to get numb. You want to be empathetic because I was telling somebody it would feel, and I hate to say it like this too, so bear with me. It would feel different. It was either one of the other members of Migos. Just because their bravado, their persona was different, people are gonna move that classification on those two. Takeoff was looked at totally different from Offset and Quavo. I'm telling you what I'm knowing. That those two would be looked at totally different on in the back channels. Not saying up front, but in the back channels, it'd be talked about differently. It would hit. I had to tell people that you got to think about things differently all the time. It would hit differently with that. And it's rough even talking about making videos like this. It ain't cloud chasing. It's just being honest. Like, man, I've been alive long enough I can damn near name 40 dead rappers. And I ain't talking about that died from AIDS. And I ain't talking about died from diabetes or died from old age. I'm talking about I can damn near name 40 that got murdered. I mean, it was an article I looked up a couple years ago from Houston. There was some local rappers that were found dead outside of a club. They were shot up in the Benz. I'm doing their names. They were local rappers. And they were shot up in the car, sitting in the car, in the parking lot of the club. That happens, but that just doesn't happen in Houston. That happens across America because of what? The culture. And it's not the culture we breeding. Like, I don't want rap to be always about death or the association of a rapper dying because he got murdered. It's going to keep it a buck, but you know, Snoop Dogg said murder was the case. It's rough. It's not enjoyable making these videos at all. And like, well, why the fuck you making it? Because I mean, I got a YouTube channel. I like to express my thoughts. I just want to give people my honest opinion and get some feedback from y'all. You know, at some point in time, you know, we gotta be like, damn, man, you know, how do we fix this? Where's the love for us, from us? I mean, they said it. They said, I think Ross said, I do so much for the hood, but the hood still don't love me. Like, how do you graduate from the hood, make enough money, and then you can't go back to the hood? Because you made it out of the hood, you're giving back to the hood. You're working to help people that's from your hood, but yet you can't go back to the hood. That's a deep thing, man. That's like, you don't get to go back home almost. You know, they make it home. I hope to not to have to make another video like this no time soon. I would just like to say ever. And like I say, you just really don't have to make a video. But, you know, I like to express my thoughts and get y'all's opinion on it, man. You know, it's redundant. Feels like cloud chasing. R.I.P. Takeoff. His family. Man, Quavo, Offset, man, y'all in our prayers. His family. Because, I mean, man, and it's hard because there's no makeup from death. There's no, man, him and Offset don't get to undo what happened. They don't get to squash. I ain't gonna say it was a beef. I'm just gonna say they don't get to get back to where they were. And for the living, that's the worst part. The living still gotta keep going. The good die young, and those left behind get stuck with the woulda, coulda, shouldas, the what ifs. What do I do now? Where do we go from here? That's one of the hardest things too. Because we got to keep on living. And now the hooks just keep coming. I tell people, man, the hook is universal. There is not a soul that is exempt from the hooks. When folks say I'm tired, shit, you better get your chin out the way. That motherfucker coming. But hey, man, y'all just take it easy. Love the ones, love your loved ones, man. You got a problem, I'm giving y'all some advice I don't even do. There's people I don't even talk to, and I'm just think I'm still better off. But I'm like, you get these instances like this, and you're like, man, I should call him. And I'll be like, no. No. Because for me, there's no beef. I'm cool where I'm in life. I just think, they don't. I know they loved each other. I know Offset and Takeoff loved each other. That love and that pride is rough, man. I'm telling you, that pride. And I know somebody gonna tell me, man, you need to take your own advice. Let that pride go. I ain't got no pride involved. No. I've just learned to. Some things gonna be. But they too young for it to be like that for them. They way too young for that to be. But hey, man, y'all be careful out there. Catch y'all next time.